Cedar Point is a theme park located in Sandusky, Ohio. This park is home to over 70 rides and attractions, but today we're going to count down for the top 10 rides over at Cedar Point. To start off with this list, at number 10 we have got Gemini, an aerodynamic hybrid coaster. For some of you who do not know what a hybrid is, it is when a steel mixes with a woody, so technically this ride is both a steel and a wooden coaster. Well, not really, but you get my point. As you can see from this POV, this ride is also a twin ride, which I personally like if you come with friends or even a big family, as you can split off from each other and race each other around. It's really fun and actually quite intense track. This ride has got a height of 125 feet and the ride consists of mainly airtime hills but also some dips around the track as well. One thing I do have to mention is that with it partly being made from wood, it may be a bit jolty, as I know from experience how bad they can get, but this ride there has only a slight jolt but nothing too painful. Overall, this ride is very fun and one where you can get a competitive atmosphere but also a really enjoyable ride. In at number 9 we have got Rougarou, a B&M flawless coaster. This ride stands at 137 feet and consists of a loop, dive loop and an incline loop as well as a corkscrew. So you know this is going to be a solid ride. You start off by going up the pretty tall lift hill, and at this point you are starting to get excited. Then you go down quite an intense first drop where you then enter the first loop, and this loop really starts off the ride well. You then go into a second loop and a dive loop where you can get a really intense experience depending of course of where you sit. After that you go round and then go down into an incline loop, which again keeps the intensity, and from there you go down into a corkscrew to finish off the ride. So as you can tell from what I've just said, there's quite a lot going on. A fun fact for you as well is that this ride used to be a stand-up coaster called Mantis, and in 2015 guests found this name to be changed and the seats as well, because it is now a flawless design. Coming in at number 8 we have got Gatekeeper, a B&M wing coaster, standing at a whopping 170 feet tall. First things first, I really love the location as it is right next to Lake Erie, so whilst going up the lift hill you can get some of the most amazing views, and when you get to the top of that hill the excitement really starts to kick in. You then go down into a classic wing coaster dive loop, to which then you head into an innerman and the aspect of the ride which is super intense sometimes. With wing coasters I do recommend that you do sit at the back, as for me personally the back row is better than the front row of the ride. Also, with this being a B&M, expect a very, and I mean very, smooth ride, and this one is no different. So if you love to have a nice smooth ride, then this is perfect to do. Do you like dinosaurs? Well, at number 7 we have got Raptor, a B&M inverted coaster, and this has been operating since 1994, so you know it's an old B&M invert. This ride has got 5 different thrilling inversions and is the same height as actually Rougarou. This invert starts off as the most inverts do by going up and down into a lift hill. When you go to the top it does go down into these loops, and sometimes these loops can be the best feature and it's up to you whether it is or not, but for me all of the inversions are intense, with my personal favourite being the Cobra roll, as especially when you sit at the back you can get flung around so much. Overall, if you love inverts and you love the name Raptor, I think you'll be a big fan of this ride. Coming in at number 6 we have got Valravn, a B&M dive coaster. Now, as far as dive coasters go, this ride looks amazing. You start off by going around into a lift hill where you are taken 223 in the air. When you get to the top of the lift hill, it's at this point you realise how high up you really are, but also you'll be able to get some amazing views of the park. When you go around, you are greeted with a famous drop where you hang around for seconds before plummeting down 214 feet into an Millennium and then go around into a dive loop, then into a 0G roll, so it's definitely not boring. What I love about this ride is that it's actually an actual ride after a first drop, because if you're from the UK or you've been to Alton Towers, you might have heard of Oblivion, which is an amazing coaster, but once you hit the top of the ride and then you drop, that is basically it. But this one continues after a drop, which I personally think is a really cool thing to see. What's your number 5 coaster? Well, at Cedar Point, I definitely would recommend heading on to Magnum XI-200, an aerodynamics hypercoaster. And another fun fact for you, this ride is regarded as the world's first hypercoaster, which is pretty cool if you do ask me. Also, this ride is just an airtime machine, as layout wise, unfortunately, apart from the thrilling drop, there really aren't any intense features such as an inversion. However, these airtime moments are so much fun, and this ride definitely looks like it's packed with a lot of airtime. I'd also like to say that this ride holds a very rare credit because it was manufactured by Aerodynamics. Unfortunately, this coaster company did close down a while ago, so if you do have an Aerodynamics cred, then I'd consider it very rare. Going from the world's first hypercoaster to the world's first gear coaster, yes, at number 4 we have got Millennium Force, a ride that opened in 2000, hence the name Millennium Force, to mark the start of the new millennium. And this ride is, well, just amazing, because not only is it intense on ride, but off ride it looks like a different sort of beast. If that lift hill does not give you the slightest of nerves, well then I am not sure what to say. On the ride you don't notice how high you are until you go over that drop, and trust me, you definitely feel high, so if you are afraid of heights, then maybe this ride isn't for you, but if you do decide to brave it, you'll be in one of the most forceful airtime hills on a gear coaster, so if you sit back and really get chucked over that hill, you are in for a good ride. If Millennium isn't already on your bucket list, then it definitely should be, as you wouldn't want to miss out on a ride like this. Top 3 now, and at number 3 we have top Thrill Dragster, an intimate accelerator. On paper these rides do seem to look very simple and go up before just coming down again. However, there is much more to these accelerators than you might think, and Top Thrill Dragster is definitely no different. I don't think I'll ever get over the launch, as again with these type of rides, I've never met anyone who has got used to the speed and acceleration that you get. They just get blown away every single time. That really makes this ride amazing. Go up to speeds of 120 miles per hour. You definitely feel like you're being blasted off, and you start to go over that top pat, which then you realise how high you really are. With lots of these rides you can't really appreciate the height again until you are up at the top, and then you go back down where you do get a vertical spiral, which is very, very forceful. At number 2 we have got Maverick, an intimate launch coaster. Right off the bat, this is such a good coaster, and actually for some weird reason I'm a massive fan of the first lift hill, as it's launched, and that's a pretty cool feature if you do ask me. Anyway, this is an intense beast after that lift hill, as you go down straight away, and if you sit at the back you will get pulled over intensely. Some of the corners are really forceful. Also, the ride has got an amazing airtime hill, and if you love airtime just like I do, I recommend sitting towards there, because you do get thrown right over. The second launch is also super forceful, which creates an amazing ride experience. One other thing I really do enjoy about this ride is the smoothness, as if you know me, I'm not the hugest fan of rough coasters. Well, I'm not really sure who is, but this ride is definitely smooth enough to enjoy. We are now at the number 1 spot, and the ride that is going to take this spot is the one and only Steel Vengeance and RMC. And if you're asking the question, is this really right at number 1 spot? Amazing? The answer is duh, yes. This ride is the definition of intense. When this ride starts, you start by going up and down these really nice bunny hills, which you commonly find on RMCs, which then brings you up into the lift hill, which again, like most rides at Cedar Point, takes you up very high. When you get to the top, then you begin to go into the drop, where you enter this really nice hill that has some good pockets of airtime. You then go up into another hill to do another type of 0G roll. This is so intense that if you thought that this was one of the only versions, then you're dead wrong, as this is nothing compared to the others, as you do a 0G stall and the hang time is so good. After that, you then do another 2 more 0G rolls. How cool is that? Honestly, if you come with this ride saying it wasn't good, then you've got to comment down below, because I'd be so surprised, as I'd honestly be thinking that you are joking. But honestly, I cannot recommend this ride anymore, so get yourself down to Cedar Point and ride Steel Vengeance, possibly the world's best roller coaster. Unfortunately though, that is it from our top 10 video over here at Cedar Point. Before the ending, I do want to apologise that my voice may have been a bit different in this video, because I've got a horrendous cold at the moment, therefore causing me to be like this. However, I want the content to keep coming through to you guys. But if you have enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe, as that means the absolute world to us. Also, checking out our Patreon page will be much supported, as it means that we can create more content just like this. But that is it from me, Derrick from Theme Park Hosting, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.